Okay.
Hallo.
Zhongming, du musst vorsichtig, du hast einen Szenologen dazu dabei. Zhongming.
Was ich jetzt sage, hat nichts mit der Performance zu tun. What I'm saying now has nothing to do with the performance phase. It is a text completely for my own. Es ist etwas, was ich aus einer ganz persönlichen Beobachtung heraus sagen möchte. Also, das bitte ich jetzt zu beachten. Ja? Das ist die Performance, das bitte ich. Wir hatten gestern das große Vergnügen, hier in dieser Wohnung zu sein, bei dem Mensch, bei der Person, die hier wohnt. Und es ist ein sehr besonderer Mensch. Sehr kreativ, macht ganz tolle Projekte im Bereich Kunst, nachhaltige Kunst. Und ich hatte das Gefühl, so als ich weggegangen bin, ich würde euch gerne 3 Dinge über diesen Menschen erzählen, sonst seht ihr ja, wie er sich einrichtet und denke, könnt ihr Dinge daraus entnehmen. 3 Dinge. Das erste, was mich sehr beeindruckt hat, ist Folgendes. Ihr seht es jetzt vielleicht nicht so gut wegen dem Licht, das ist ein Lorbeerblatt. Ein Lorbeerblatt. Und dieser Mensch, diese Person hat uns, als wir gestern hier waren, in einer großen Gastfreundschaft Schälchen mit heißem Wasser und ein Lorbeerblatt da drin serviert. Die ganze Runde bekam Schälchen mit heißem Wasser und Lorbeerblatt. Ich habe das noch nie getrunken. Es war was ganz Besonderes. Also ich finde, das hatte ganz tolle Aromen. So, man war in so südliche Wälder versetzt, so Korkeichenwälder, hat so Weinberge vor sich gesehen, bisschen Weihrauch. Also es war ein ganz besonderes Erlebnis. Ja? Und die Person, dieser Mensch, ist heute Morgen nach Portugal geflogen, um neue Lorbeerblätter zu ernten. Weil die Ernte ist ausgegangen, es müssen neue Lorbeerblätter geerntet werden. Sie ist unterwegs nach Portugal, heute Morgen geflogen. Und ich denke, sie macht auch andere Dinge, aber sie wird Lorbeerblätter ernten. Das ist das Erste, was ich erzählen wollte, was mir gut gefallen hat, weil ich es noch nie erlebt habe. Das Zweite ist, dieser Mensch, diese Person ist sehr mit Kunst beschäftigt und hier irgendwo, ich weiß jetzt nicht genau wo, verbirgt sich ein Bild, was hier besonders wichtig war. Und dieses Bild ist von einem israelischen Künstler, der ausschließlich mit Plastiktüten arbeitet. Diese Plastiktüten fischt er aus dem Meer, weil er meint, im Meer ist zu viel Plastik. Er geht also ins Meer, sammelt Plastiktüten ein und schneidet daraus ganz subtile und sehr feine, kleine Silhouetten und klebt die wohl auf den Rahmen. Und dieses Bild ist besonders wichtig, ich weiß aber nicht, wo es sich aktuell aufhält. Also wenn ihr später rumlauft, mal ein Auge drauf werfen, welches Bild das sein könnte. Sie hat es uns gestern gezeigt. Also, mal schauen. Und ein drittes, ich habe der Person gestern in ihrem Schlafzimmer kurz einen Text vorgelesen von einem chinesischen Dichter, John Ming, in einer Übersetzung von Susanne Gösse. Und Susanne Gösse ist ja auch in diesem Zusammenhang eine sehr wichtige Person, weil ihr eigentlich dieses ganze Projekt, diese ganzen Performances gewidmet sind. Und wenn ihr Lust habt, würde ich gerne da hinten jetzt in das Schlafzimmer gehen, mich auf den Stuhl setzen und dort dieses Gedicht lesen, weil sie hat gesagt, sie würde sich dann gerne später, wenn sie mal da ist, aufs Bett legen. Ich soll dann in diesem Stuhl sitzen und ihr das nochmal vorlesen. Aber ich würde das jetzt sozusagen einmal virtuell für euch machen. Ihr könnt euch vorstellen, ihr liegt auf dem Bett und ich setze mich auf den Stuhl. Wir müssten uns dann halt dazu ein bisschen in den Gang hinten rein bewegen. Und ich würde einfach diese Passage aus dem Gedicht von John Ming, okay, gut, John Ming. Kein weiteres Chinesisch von mir heute, das war's. Das ist eine Sinologin hier, wurde mir angedroht, also ich werde kein Chinesisch, aber ich würde es euch gerne vorstellen. Es ist kein ganz leichtes Gedicht, aber es lohnt sich und würde da gerne euch eine Passage lesen. Ich gehe jetzt einfach mal darüber und schaue mal, was passiert. Und ihr müsstet euch halt so ein bisschen, ich kann aber auch so laut lesen, dass ihr alle sitzen bleiben könnt, aber wer mag, kann sich auch ein Stück in den Gang reinbewegen. Wenn es euch zu leise ist, dann kommt einfach näher an den Flur, oder? Also ihr müsst, ich versuche Stimme zu geben, aber wenn es für euch zu leise ist, kommt einfach.
Ich kann dich gut hören.
You can hear?
Ja, sehr gut.
Very good. Das Gedicht heißt Chinesische Akrobatik, harte Stühle. Was fürchtet der Kaiser am meisten? Stühle. Straff auf Stühle gezogene chinesische Seide lässt ihn, dem Gleiten auf Skiern gleich, in den Winter rutschen. Seinen eigenen exklusiven, strengen Winter. Die Tiefe des Blicks wird sich gegen ihn stellen, ihn wegsäubern mit einer Kampagne mit Stühlen. Und mit seinen korrekt ausgesprochenen Versprechern eine kranke Macht. Doch wer weiß, was das Volk tun wird. Diese unterdrückten Kehlen von der Freiheit befreit. Wie Steine starren sie auf seine Unsauberkeit. Daher ist es unsere Pflicht, seinen Mund und seinen Stuhl als ebenso strahlend wie aufrichtig anzusehen, in reinem Weiß und schneeloser Kälte. Auf dem Gesicht von Tausenden, als wäre es tondünn gezogen zu einem einzigen, sitzt der Kaiser purpurgelb und Ordnung aus, ernährt sich von Hartem und Weichem, regiert bald mit Gewalt, bald mit Güte, Sein mit Qigong hart trainierter Kopf, wenn es ihn überkommt, stößt er die Klassiker wie einen großen Topf über unseren Namen. Wir haben dann einen Lesemonat. Reicher Schnee verkündet reiche Ernte. Unsere harte Arbeit wird mit des Königs zeremoniellem Pflügen gleichgesetzt. Zivil- und Militärbeamte paradieren hinaus, wägen Gewinne und Verluste. Doch der König in seinem Lehnstuhl sieht nur auf die Sitzordnung. Gemeinsam aus diesem Text was lesen oder wenn euch eine Zeile auffällt oder etwas, wo ihr denkt, es kann auch nur so für euch selbst wie gemurmelt sein, einfach den Text mal gemeinsam lesen, also jeder laut oder halblaut, so für sich, wenn ihr Lust habt.
Reinvent the failed experiences. There are places ways to reinvent the failed experiences. On that platform, in the cast bodies in the middle of many unsustainable problems of the world. In the bright and shadowy corners.
Proposed capitalism, production, art like a bubble, there's living room,
This conversation arises where?
But that's the piece.
Yeah.
Ja, warte, du und ich.
Is it a female face? It is.
Das ist kein Plastisch, oder?
Just
sogar.
Ja.
Sehr Kirche fast schon.
So many to
This side is a little bit like a witch, and from the other side it's very and that from the back side. This one.
Nee, ist mit Grundeinkommen, ist nicht FDP.
Go on. My comment.
Because I'm falling with the words, the more civilized world and the less developed world about Africa.
欧洲是一个更文明的地区，但是非洲是一个欠发展的地区。海令说，这不是一切问题的根源所在吗？
为什么我这样写？我好像我在这个跟这个主人的对话里面，我意识到对他做一些扶持非洲的一些计划，显然是一种对非洲的一个从一个发达地区到一个不发达地区这样的一个路线。
I think it all starts from the conversation we had right here. Tian and Chao and the owner of the flat, we talked about like some projects she was part of to help with like women's rights in Africa. So Tian thinks maybe that's why he thinks it obviously like from Europe and Africa is like developed area to a less developed area, because that's where it that's from the conversation we had.
But I think she's right. The problem is it should be in converted commas. So in the discussion it was meant differently.
But still, the choices of the world, I think, less civilized has like a long history with this context also when it comes to Europe and Africa and other places of the world, where you say, where Europeans see other places as less civilized. And I'm also like, that was one of the things that struck me and got stuck with me, and then also with the fact of being in this apartment with the person, the owner, is invisible. We cannot grab anything about this person. And I'm then asking myself, if this person see Africans less civilized, what kind of work is she doing for the woman, with the idea already in her head that she's going somewhere less civilized? So isn't she already also reproducing this discrimination against the woman there?
So that's, you're really right, but she's not meaning it. That she, in the verbal communication, it's like converted commas. It's how you usually call it. So it's not on the paper, which is a big mistake.
这是一个发达地区和欠发达地区，但是阿令的男朋友他说，就是是不是这个人就带着这样的意识去做这些帮助非洲妇女的事情，就是从一个发达的角度去一个没有少文明的地方。
Mohammed, do you still use the word civilization?
Huh?
In your life, do you still use the word civilization?
I think so. Yeah.
那么你在你的生活里面还使用文明这个词汇吗？
I think what matters more than what it means to me, how we use it in these spaces. So, and also in cultural spaces. If we choose to select a certain type of people and say they are less civilized and some people more civilized, this is already creating hierarchy and creating a power structure which already makes the conversation gives more chances for some people than others. And then also creating problems and claiming certain groups of people because they are inherently uncivilized or less civilized.
I completely agree with you.
And I think with a text like this, when we want to say a certain group of people is less civilized, then it's very important to say why they are, if such a word is to be used, then to say why they are less civilized, which I think this is never okay to use, to say certain people less civilized. I could accept more or less developed when we say, okay, technically or with technology maybe less developed or whatever, or economically or whatever, but then it's more specified. There is a specific problem that is being mentioned, and this is what I'm not finding with this text. And then also,
what do you define, the civilization?
I don't know, I'm not a socialist to give
Just to give a catalog.
I can give you an example.
Okay.
Because
Maybe I think it's more
now I give you a very simple
to
example, like because I studied music once. When they first taped the Aka Pygmies from Central Africa, the Aka Pygmy, Aka Pygman, they thought it's very primitive music. Because they're just clapping on water and you didn't get our way of rhythm and structure. But later they found out the rhythm they had was so complicated we couldn't hear it. It was a rhythm which had a 1 every 2 hours. We were not able to realize this. But this was very, very high developed or civilized, but we couldn't bring it together with our system. That's why I think he's right. We have to be very careful. You can say we have more economical power, but is this really more civilized? This question should really be on top. We don't know. So we have to be careful. Yeah.
I also wonder, like, what do you mean, like, for civilized, not you, but in general, is civilized something positive? Is it just positive? Is it just something good? Or I mean, then, because then it's becoming a competition of who's more or less civilized, and it's...
Yeah, it's a very good question.
But maybe being civilized could be...
We have to rethink it, because what we call civilization kills the earth and takes away the things from other people who are not as economically as strong.
Yeah.
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because as I asked you this question, because in the same time I was also thinking the word, civilization. I don't know if I can give you a perspective from Chinese history, I don't know, but it reminds me just this word. For me, civilization, it comes just between, you know that China has a long history. And how we define that, use this word civilization in China's oldest history, I think it reminds me just one time between we define this is not civilized and this is civilized. I think it's just the small differences that people get more, I don't know how to say, but maybe this is not a good word for in this room, material. That's the poorest people, they have something to eat, they have more time to think about, I live today not just to give my stomach full, but just to have a word of the artist, maybe another to think about what is the other people or what the people behind the mountain or another places, and how they I don't know how to treat each other, give more time to other people, not just to think, oh, I get enough food today, then it just finish my today. That is between civilization. I don't know whether this is
the point where the person is not thinking anymore about food and start thinking about something else, then he's civilized.
It's starting the civilization. I will just thinking of that.
But I think like the art, what we have today, like a thing, a tool which is very much coming, or which is like in civilized societies coming a lot, it's also mostly influenced by African art or everyday uses. So it's not like something, even if you are the poorest, or if you, I mean, I think it's not common.
That's why it's very interesting, because I'm sure that the person living here is trying to build bridges or find out something, because you can see this, like African art and other artists is equal level in here. No? She tries to bridge, but it's a long way.
I think it's especially problematic when it's a white European person is using this word, civilized, and towards also other places that are not in Europe, and especially also Africa, because of the whole history of colonialism and the history of also of the European Enlightenment, and that they at some point decided that they are the civilized among everyone else on earth, and they have to civilize also they had the mission to civilize other people.
Yes.
And that's why
then it becomes ideological, like religions going out and saying you have the wrong God and you have
yeah, but it's also then it's a question of power, because it's also then it's not just Europe going outside, but also the people who are coming outside of Europe into Europe. They are still seen as not civilized, as less civilized, and there's still always, no matter what you do, you speak the language, you speak two other languages, you're doing art, you are maybe on top of your university or whatever you work, still there is this look.
This is very interesting, you know, like actually like just for the owner of the place. By chance I met her twice. She never used the word civilization. And she's white. And here, the text, like this word appears here. And this text is produced by a non-white person. And this makes me wonder, what is this developed model that we are?
Yeah. We have to be careful.
That we are, you know, we are.
That's the thing that has also to do with the fact that we are here. And the owner is not here. I mean, this is,
you can't ask her for that.
I'm not asking her for that, but this is also has to do with hospitality. I mean, who of us here in this room would say, okay, I would invite people in, but not be in the room?
Actually, I have a more interesting question.
But she will be here at the last performance. You can ask her questions.
I mean, this is also related to the performance, right? It's not, I'm not saying that she's just a bad person because of that.
主人没在吗？
主人没在。 The owner not here? The owner not here?
他不是。
I know.
So you are not the owner.
I am not the owner. Question mark.
刚才在讨论这个文明的问题啊，我也读一点东西啊，就借着这个他的朗诵。我其实不想朗诵，但是这个话题让我想起了这么一首诗，你帮我翻译一下。可以的啊。好，自我介绍，这是一首诗的名字。
It is very interesting your question because the whole project has a lot to do with translation, misunderstandings which understand by translated from German into English, into Chinese, and back to English, and then in German. And then you have a complete Babylonic speech disaster. So this is what happened right here. But the question of absence is also interesting because there is one person who all these performances and the final performances are in a way an homage to. Because she is in a way the spirit in everything. And she is absent. And she is absent in a way which is very, very definitive because she doesn't live anymore. So absence is in the core of the whole performance project. So in a way, it fits.
我们现在翻译一下，现场翻译一下，我读一个很短的诗，然后请你跟我用英语翻译。可以。然后请你。
我可以用德语。
啊，你用德语。
我也可以用德语。
谁用英语？我们再找英语。
那你用英语。那我试着翻吧，如果不行的话再聊。
他想一个英语一个德语，两个语言都翻。
对，好3个语言。我们接着他的话，在这种翻译中，我们会得到什么，丢失什么？好的。
当然英文、
德文。那你先吧。
好的啊，这是一个中国的诗人的诗，音乐。
Music。
这首诗的名字叫《自我介绍》。
This is a poem from Chinese. I don't know the writer. 这是作者。
作者叫于新桥。
Okay, the writer is Yu Xingqiao.
Es ist ein Gedicht aus China und der Autor heißt Yu Xingqiao und der Titel heißt Selbstvorstellung.
名字叫自我介绍，说过了。
Okay, title is self-introduction.
我来自一个最美丽的国家。
I come from a very, very beautiful country.
Ich komme aus einem wunderschönes Land.
在那里，脏乱差只是一个传说。
Okay. How do you say that? People say that it's dusty and is not a lovely country, but everything that is just rumors, not the real.
Chaos, Schmutz und sind nur Legenden dort.
遍地的鲜花是唯一可以打扫的垃圾。
Wow. Okay. There are flowers all over the ground, but people treat them just like the trashes. But I couldn't understand that.
唯一可以打扫的垃圾。
The only trash to sweep away. But why? Because there are flowers. Okay.
德语。
Die Blumen, die auf dem Boden liegen, sind die einzigen Müll, die weggeräumt werden können.
我来自一个最自由的国家。
I come from a country that the most freedom they have. Yeah.
Ich komme aus einem Land, wo die größte Freiheit herrscht.
那里从来就没有监狱和冤假错案。
Well, there is no just prison, and no unjustified cases. I would say fake or fake, just unjustified. Yeah.
Es gibt dort keine Gefängnisse und auch keine ungerechten Fälle.
随时随地，我们都可以自由地做梦。
Everywhere and we can dream of everything.
Wir können überall und jederzeit träumen.
在那里，挑刺儿的人越来越多了。
Over there, always more and more people. They are judging and pointing out problems there. Yeah.
Es gibt immer mehr Menschen dort, die über irgendetwas meckern wollen.
但即使在荆棘中，荆棘就是那种带刺儿的荆棘，荆棘。
But even though in the, I don't know how to say this.
荆棘。
荆棘。
Maybe try this.
Thistles and thorns. Thorns.
Thorn.
I don't know how.
Thorn. The Jesus square.
Thorn.
Jesus square on the head.
Sogar in den Stacheln.
也100%的无可挑剔，在荆棘中也挑不出什么刺儿来，就这意思。
It's not consistent. Maybe. 就是你能再把这句话完整的说那个意思。
我来自一个就那里挑刺的人越来越多，但即使是在荆棘中，也100%的无可挑剔。
Okay. They couldn't even finding something unsatisfied from these twisters and storms.
Selbst in den Stacheln gibt es absolut gar nichts zu meckern.
听着。
Listen.
Hör zu.
我不承认你们的幸福。
I can't recognize or I can't commitment that you are so happily.
Ich kann euren Glück nicht anerkennen.
Perfect.
当然，我也不承认你们的文明。
Of course, I will also not commitment that the definition of civilization as well.
Aber natürlich werde ich eure Zivilisation auch nicht anerkennen.
我来自一个真理的国家。
I come from a country that always treats the truth as the best or the most important thing.
Ich komme aus dem Land der Wahrheit.
除了我们的路。
Except our way.
Außer unserem Weg.
其他的路都走不通。
Except for our way, the other way couldn't work out.
好，完了。
Und die anderen Wege sind blockiert.
作者于新桥，我替他推广了一下诗了。
这可以的，我就挺谦虚了。
那个，马永峰，你有什么诗要突然进入诗歌朗读了？
哦，我这里也是一个前世 ，I'm an extra poet。我可以朗诵一首，但是我这个很难翻译。
用英语朗诵。
不是中文嘛？我是用中文写的。It's very difficult to translate into English. I try to find one. Maybe where is it?
我刚才这首诗回答那个文明的问题了吗？
Yeah.
Was this poem answer to the question of civilization?
这种诗名字 the title of the poem is the history of dust. Because I think for me, I prefer to use culture because culture is neutral and equal to describe something. And civilization, apparently, it's a colonial term because it want to bring some hierarchical suppression, definitely. So for me, I want to read one of the poem I have wrote because I'm not write a lot because I'm a little lazy sometimes. But I'd like to read one of them, the history of dust.
历史之城，城的历史。
这很难翻译。
你要翻德语还是英语？
这无所谓。
谁帮他翻？
这位诗人。
我尝试一下。
好，
我只能翻德语。
灰尘史。
历史的史。
对。
Die Geschichte vom Staub.
荡漾存储着涟漪的记忆。
我们
所以我
荡漾，哪个荡漾？
荡漾就是那个水波
荡漾，
荡漾存储着涟漪的记忆。
Water waves store the memory of ripples.
这个大师了，这个大师。
远山近河，埋葬着过往的灰尘史。
The faraway mountains and the nearby rivers, they store the history of dusts.
徒劳有一颗受伤的心。
In vain, there is a heart that is wounded.
去留无意，踏歌行于尘埃。尘埃吧。
There's no intention to stay or to leave. 踏歌行于尘埃，是吧？One wanders and sings among the dust.
无端生出隐匿果核之念。
隐匿什么？
果核就是水
果的核
啊。
隐匿是哪个隐匿？
隐匿就是隐藏的一种。
再说一遍，连起来说一下。
无端生出隐匿果核之念。
Accidentally borns out of it an intention, an idea of hiding the seed or the stone of fruit.
讨论丰盈的忍耐，没入刺目的放任性。
丰盈就是丰盈
啊，对，丰盈
的忍耐。
对，
讨论丰盈的忍耐，放任。
没入刺目的放任性。
没入刺目是什么？
刺目就是眼睛的刺目。
没入就是隐没进入。
隐没的，
对
对。
的放任。
放任性就是一种放任的一种。
好，连起来再说一次。
讨论丰盈的忍耐，没入刺目的放任性。
We discuss an ample, rich,
patience.
Patience, bearing, and we submerge into a glaring arbitrarity.
Plunge into dazzling, 放任。好吧，这个学习浮动，擅长挥洒和渗透，一切都交于富美学来填充。
断着说，学习浮动，
擅长挥洒和渗透。
Learn, floating. 下一句。
擅长挥洒和渗透。擅长挥洒和渗透。
Good at
挥洒自如。
letting free and infiltration.
对，一切都交于富美学来填充。
We give everything 富美学是什么？
交付美学。
不是交付美学，是富美学，有个正美学和富美学。对，富美学。
Everything, all the void we leave to be filled by negative aesthetics.
来回捣碎积攒的时间。
We grind repeatedly.
念错了，来回积攒捣碎的时间。来回积攒捣碎的时间。
He read it wrong order, which makes a very different meaning. 来回积攒捣碎的时间。
对。
We accumulate repeatedly the grinded and broken time.
好，这个下面弥漫感让我们重估表面。
The haze, a feeling, a sensation of haziness, make us reevaluate the surface.
脏舞蹈的可能性。
脏是哪个脏？
脏就是肮脏的舞蹈。
脏舞蹈。
脏舞蹈的可能性。
对。
脏舞蹈的可能性。
舞蹈是什么？
舞蹈是舞蹈 possibility
of dirty dance.
Of the dirty dance.
But not sexy dance.
No, not sexy dance.
Unclean dances.
无法分辨人为的风扬起的还是普遍的失序。
Indistinguishable wind goes up or not, or 普遍的秩序 or is it
general disorder?
General disorder.
有时候尘埃反而让事物洁净。
Sometimes dust make things cleaner.
完善于纠缠场之外。
完善于纠缠场。
对，纠缠场之外，纠缠的是一个场。
To be completed or to be verbalised.
就像现在。
Out of a field, out of an area of entanglement.
对比五蕴域六尘，呼吸是唯一的平衡点。
When you compare the 5 fundamental senses in Buddhist tradition and the 6
呼吸是唯一的平衡点。
6 like senses, yeah, also in Buddhist tradition, the only balance point is breathing.
雨滴从地面捡起透明的自己。
The raindrops pick up the transparent selves from the ground.
省略扬尘。
That saves the dusts that rise.
正如哭泣原谅白瓷的缺口。
As is the same way as 哭泣, weeping forgives the small broken openings of pure white porcelain.
2022年8月30号。
August 30th, 2022.
我说是不好翻译，因为我写的都是那种。
Thank you.
就我读这首诗 why I want to read this poem because from in my perspective maybe civilization is very biased term. Also, all the civilization in Chinese thing, all the civilization will go to dust. So we call it the history of dust.
对他来说，他为什么想念这首诗？对他来说，文明是一个有偏不中立的词汇。在中国，我们说文明都是归于尘土。
我们在这里已经1个小时，一般这个时间主任怎么都应该出场，其实也没有见到，所以我们
主任真的没在吗？
我不知道，就是一般在这个时候，我们这个表演系列是在公寓里边演出。
Yeah, we have been here already for 1 hour, and the owner is not here, so the owner cannot show up. And normally this time in our the theater project, this flat series, the owner should show up at this time point, but he or he cannot be here.
对，如果之前看过我们前面的演出，会知道这个公寓的主人就是整个表演的中心。
If you had seen all the performances we had, you would know that the owner of the flat is the center of every performance of this project.
我们今天其实到现在也不知道谁是这个房间的主人，我们。
But today until now we had no clue who is the center of this room.
那我们在一个没有主人的房子里边度过这个晚上啊。
We are spending our time in a flat where the owner is absent.
我希望你们就观众没有觉得来的人啊没有觉得遗憾啊。
I hope you don't feel any pity, a feeling of pity, regret here.
啊，我来这个房间，一开始就以为那个人是主人。
Yeah, when I'm here, I enter this room. I thought this person is the owner.
那主人就躺在那睡觉。
Oh yeah. Oh, peaceful.
I'm naked.
啊，主任。
Sie haben gefunden eigentlich von ein Notizbuch auf den Tisch gelassen, vom weiß nicht wem. Es gibt ein Quotation von Hannah Arendt, das schreibt, es geht um die Fähigkeit der Menschen, Neues in die Welt zu rufen.
他说在那个看到了一本书，上面有汉娜阿伦特的一句话吗？
是。
你们都认识这个人吗？
Do you know this person, this woman?
认识这个主人吗？
Any idea who she is?
都不认识。
No?
哇，这个人在
了解的不认识。
这个人在，
这人在也不认识。
这个人在中国很有名，在德国很多人不认识。
She's very famous in China, but in Germany, why everybody don't know her?
如果认识他的人，去跟他打个招呼。
Anybody who knows her, say hello to her.
Actually, from this angle, it looks like Einstein.
Okay.
Hannah, how do you say hello, Hannah?
Hi, Hannah.
所以我们跟他也没有什么话说。
We don't have much to say with to Hannah Arendt.
我们要感谢他，让我们在他的房间里边待了这么一晚上。
We should thank her, the owner, for letting us spend time here in her room.
当然，他还写了很多书啊，我们要花时间看。
Of course, she has written a lot of books, and we need to spend much time reading the books.
我们今天晚上聊的一些话，也许能找到一些一个对话跟这个主人。
Yeah, we can also find references with the conversation we had today in this room. And this conversation can also have a conversation with Hannah Arendt's books.
我们其实是在这个房间待着啊，其实也没有什么表演的，因为他不出声，其实没法表演，我们就这么待着，大家表演待的时候就结束了。
Now what we are doing is just being here, and because the owner is not here, so there won't be any performance. So we are just being here. If I feel tired of it, then the performance is over.
我们也可以找一个结尾，在那个房间有人朗诵一首诗，我们结尾。
Yeah, we can also find our own endings. Perhaps somebody in that room go to that room and read something as the end of this performance.
Mohammed, hast du so ein Gedicht von, ich weiß nicht, Farsi oder Arabisch, weil ich kann die nicht so gut. Also,
Ein Gedicht,
ja.
das ich jetzt lesen lasse.
Das,
超问
ja,
他
dass
有
du
没有
lesen
他有没有想读的诗？
Ich habe jetzt nicht im Kopf.
就这个，还可以把这个再读一遍。
Oder vielleicht vom, also ich kann auch vom Internet finden, ich kann auch den hier vom Internet finden. Ich habe kein Arabisch Input. Man kann einfach.
I have one more thing to say about civilization. I would like to say something because we only talk about civilization for Europe and other countries, but like. But my husband is from Greece. And actually, there is our civilization come from a long time ago, thousands of years ago, the European civilization. Huh? And but today we are not looking so. A lot of Germans don't look a little bit down on Greek people. You cannot say less civilized, but they have 10 years crisis and they don't have a good, if you call it material, what we had in the past or whatever. So the money power is not there anymore. So Also there in Europe there are different levels of civilization. So if you put the German civilization on top of Europe, this is not working out also for other countries, for European countries. So that's why it's very interesting. Just also look into Europe and maybe look into any person that lives here who has this kind of experience. So this is a worldwide problem, I think.
That's why I'm very thankful for Mohammed seeing this phrase, because I got the paper and I read it and said it's okay, but it was one word missing, because it has to be the so-called civilized West and East.
Yeah.
Then it's okay, but it's not in there, and you should have noticed. And that's really we have to be very careful, because we use old structures.
I think it's also not about censorship.
No.
Really interested of knowing what is this person thinking. And, what kind of work she is also doing, because we get, I mean, this whole secret about the identity of the owner of the apartment. Thank you. I think it's interesting. It's also adding to the performance that we are here. We don't know this person. We're talking about the person who is an artist and who is working on sustainability and so on. But still, we don't know who the person is. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Also, like in relation to the text, to the performance, to know a little bit about maybe the person.
But we, at least we start to think on our own. The person is a very strong talker, so we have to listen a lot. Because for many years she had to deal with politics. So now we have the space to make our own and find little things which are...
It's a policy itself to disappear.
Yes.
You know, to disappear from the conversation, to make a conversation and not be not be part of it also.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fitting. Like the performance is also fitting to the apartment, fitting to the person and their own practice somehow. Because still, I mean, like the maybe what I get from the text is like the main issue you want to also discuss is sustainability. The whole idea of being sustainable means that you want to have a certain system existing, right? Whether it's capitalism, what you call it here, post-capitalism, whether it's the civilization.
It's a big theme of the person. It's not our theme. It's the big theme of the person.
But maybe of the performance now, because we are staying in this person's apartment also, talking about the person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I lost a bit where I was.
That's fine.
But this is what I wanted to say, is that with sustainability there is always a certain system that has to keep functioning. How do we keep this system functioning in the best way? And I think this is mixed with civilization and culture and capitalism and globalization. This is like big problems coming up with this discussion. Yeah, I think it's nice to talk about them and the performance. Yeah, and performance way also. Because I think I would never walk into a room and start talking about these things randomly like I do today. I'm comfortable about talking about it, right?
I would say the last sentence, because if I hear you, I'm not an artist. Sometimes perhaps a little bit. So all things you are told remind me of my last nightmare. And I was, in my nightmare, I was holding a man. And I said, I have to go another way. And he said, yes, we can do it. And he said, but we have to cross the river. And I was thinking, oh shit, I have to cross the river. What should happen there? And I met a high house in the mountains. It was very warm, very nice. It was like a school with a lot of nice people there. But really, oh, it's so nice, and the teacher was in front of this. And I come in, and the teacher said to the old man behind me, why you bring this woman to me? And I was also thinking, what should I do here? I'm sure this should be the heaven, but I want not live in the heaven. And I said, oh shit, it's so boring here. And God looks at the dead and said, take the woman with you. She's not in the right place here. And I said, thank you. And I went out of the heaven and I said, I will never live in the heaven. And now, if it is Karsi, I don't know the woman from this flat, and I know the philosophy of Hannah Arendt and what she did. But in the last point, first I was thinking, what should it be Hannah Arendt there naked on the bed? I think she would sit here, smoke a lot, and would ask one question. What do you want to say about civilization? What should be the definition of this? And so I think in the end, we are searching for this question. What should be the definition of civilization? And so I think it's a really good point in the end, because we don't know it. And we should search for this. What should it be? And for me, I would like to meet this woman of this room. I don't like to go in a room or a flat without the owner. It's cold a little bit for me. But I say thank you for this. I only told you what I felt. Thank you.
It was very poetic.
Very poetic. 到了一个空间，老师问他为什么要把这个
Beyond ideology and underneath the heaven.
在梦里意识到
We have to find something.
But I was thinking, if this is the heaven, I want to go in the heaven. It's better for me.
你要把这个空间、这个房间带走，因为这个空间不应该在这里。